To solve an equation with rational expressions, the first step is to get all of the expressions on one side of the equal sign by itself. So we're going to be subtracting 6 from both sides here. So we have 4 over x minus 4 plus 4 over 2x minus 8 plus negative 6 over 1 equals 0. Notice again how I didn't write this as minus 6. I wrote it as plus negative 6 over 1. That's going to come in later. Now we will have to re-express each of these using a common denominator. In order to find the common denominator, we're going to need to factor this expression first. So we can rewrite it as 4 over x minus 4 plus 4 over 2 parentheses x minus 4. So 2x minus 8 is really the same as 2 parentheses x minus 4 plus negative 6 over 1 equals 0. And now we can identify the lowest common denominator as, well, it has to have an x minus 4 in it. It has to have a 1 in it, which it already does, and it has to have a 2 in it. So your lowest common denominator is really 2 parentheses x minus 4, which is the same as 2x minus 8. But we can leave it this way so we can identify easily what our 3 factors need to be. So now we have 4 over x minus 4, we're going to write this vertically, plus 4 over 2 parentheses x minus 4 plus negative 6 over 1. Again, this whole thing still equals 0. We're going to multiply by a fraction to equal another fraction with our lowest common denominator. We're going to multiply by a fraction to equal another fraction with our lowest common denominator, and we're going to do that same thing a third time. So in order to get from 1 to 2 parentheses x minus 4, we need to multiply by 2 parentheses x minus 4, and that is going to be a repeated factor. To get from 2 parentheses x minus 4 to 2 parentheses x minus 4, we just needed to multiply by 1 over itself. To get from x minus 4 to 2 parentheses x minus 4, we have to multiply by 2. Now we'll go in and we'll re-express all of these numerators. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 4 times 1 would be plus 4. And now we can distribute here. We have negative 6 times 2 parentheses x minus 4. So we can multiply here first, 2x minus 8. So we really have negative 6 times 2x minus 8. So now we can re-express everything. We have 8 plus 4 minus 6 parentheses 2x minus 8 all over our LCD of 2 parentheses x minus 4, and that whole thing equals 0. So let's clean this up in here. 8 plus 4 minus 12x plus 48 over 2 parentheses x minus 4 equals 0. Simplify up here, we have negative 12x, and then 48 plus 8 would be 56, plus 4 would be 60, so negative 12x plus 60 over 2 parentheses x minus 4. And we can definitely do something more with this. Let's factor 12 out of here. So this would be negative 12 times x minus 5 over 2 parentheses x minus 4. Negative 12 divided by 2 would be negative 6. Times x minus 5 over what is now x minus 4 equals 0. When you multiply that times x minus 4, it all goes away, and you have negative 6 times x minus 5 equals 0. Negative 6x plus 30 equals 0. We subtract the 30. Negative 6x equals negative 30. We divide by negative 6. And through all this, we get x equals positive 5.